Alright, so we came back, and Hannah has her frogs here in their temporary housing until they get big and strong enough to be sent to the backyard of the main house. So, people always ask me, Thomas, how do you do, or actually, this is YouTube, Real TVW, how do you do such cool things? Well, let me show you some of my secrets, okay? So first of all, how I do cool things is I have this hat right here. You can see it's Adidas, a nice big hat. You know, it protects you from the sun. You know, face protection and neck protection. My other big secret, the Patagonia Atom 8 liter. This bag is amazing. You have a front pocket here that I use for putting like wallet and keys, the main compartment in here. There's also a divider there so I can put, if I'm just hiking, water and phone. If I'm taking the camera and phone. It's also a great Nintendo Switch bag. It's not big enough though for my Samsung tablet. I got the S8 Plus and it's a 12.4 inch tablet. So it also has another little pocket here and I put napkins in there. So, and then the next part is shoes. So I used to never run with Brooks. I used to be big on New Balance because I have a wide foot, you know, and so New Balance makes wide shoes in general, and even their non-wides are just a little bit wider cut. So, you know, for instance, Nike, you cannot get a wide shoe with Nike. You're just out of luck. Adidas, like their cheaper Duramos, which I've bought a few pairs over the years, they make them in a wide. I wear a 10 wide, usually 2E. So, you know, at my work, though, this one guy was like, hey, Thomas, or Real TVW, what do you think about Brooks? And, I mean, I didn't know that much about Brooks. I knew about running shoes. I had some Sauconys before. I'd seen Asics, even the Mizunos, the Japanese brand. You know, I'd seen them. But I was wearing New Balance or Adidas, and I'm like, let me look. So I look at Brooks. He's like, get the Ghosts. Look at the Ghost, Thomas, or Real TVW. Right, so I look at these Ghosts and I'm like, this is ugly. These are old man shoes. I said, you're crazy. Does it look so bad? He's like, well, I'm going to get him and try them. So he bought them. He said, these are the best shoes ever. They're so comfortable. They're so nice. I said, all right, you like Brooks. That's cool. They're just not my style. But then I was thinking about getting back into jogging because I used to jog a lot and I used to be 185 pounds, you know, just jogging 5Ks all day, and I was in great shape. You know, I'm not like that anymore. I'm 215 pounds or 12. Yeah, I'm down to 212. Let's just say I'm 210 all day and I have no energy and I'm old and I'm middle-aged. All right? But anyway, I went to the shoe store today. I'm looking for 10 wide. Show me what you have in 10 wide. So they brought out every shoe they had in 10 wide. And they brought out... Oh, come on. They brought out these Brooks Glycerin. So this is the Brooks Glycerin 20, and I put them on, and I thought, these fit the best of what you got. Because again, it's hard to find a wide shoe, right? And they don't have all the colors. They have all these cool colors for regular people with regular feet. You got a wide foot, they're like, yeah, we got this, this black and white, or we got this neon green, that's it. The Glycerin comes in 20 colors, but if you got a wide foot, you got 2 or 3. So I put these Glycerins on, and I felt like my foot sat up high. Like I wish my foot was in deeper. But it was the best they had, and I really wanted a nice pair of running shoes. So I bought these, and after a couple of days, they broke in really well, and I love these shoes. And they're so thick and cushiony, and they have this nitrogen built in, and when you put these on, they make you want to run. They make you want to walk fast, bounce, and jump and go. So these Brooks impressed me. I said, man, Brooks are nice. I said, okay. I'm doing a lot of hiking. You can see the trail we were at. I said, I want a shoe that's more durable for hiking. I want to have some grip. So I went back to the same store, and I found these. This is the Brooks Cascadia 16. You can see it's got this, like sun, snow and grass and deserts and, hold on. I have no idea. I mean, it looks cool. Right? Go anywhere, do anything, Brooks Cascadia. Why this color? That's all they had. They had no other options in my size. Now what's really great about these is they got this little guard right here, really durable, so if you're kicking rocks or hitting things, it's not gonna damage your shoe. It does have a nice mesh padding. Sorry, my wife started talking and I lost train of thoughts. What'd you say?
What did you buy?
What did I buy where? In the box?
What did you
Those are the sun hoodies I bought, remember? From Arctic. We'll look at those later. So I like the Cascadia. It's got this little guard here. The lighter color I think is nice because it doesn't absorb heat. And then it's got really nice chunky tread. And it has a rock shield. And it has track, what does it say? Trail tack. Yeah. These grip like you were literally like a mountain goat. You're on the incline, decline. These things just grab the ground like crazy. Best trail shoes I've ever had, seen, or used. Okay, so then I was like, well, I got these two Brooks. The running shoes are expensive and fancy, and the trail shoes are made for trails. I don't want to ruin them with everyday walking around. So I was like, I need an everyday Brooks shoe, and so lo and behold, the Ghost. The one I made fun of the guy, saying they looked like ugly old man shoes. You know, they only had, again, there's not many color options. This one or just a plain black and white. I didn't want another black and white because, you know, the glycerin, it's like a black and white. But honestly, those black and whites looked pretty good. I'm not like against this blue, but I'm living with it. I mean, it's good. It's blue and orange. This is the Ghost 15. You can see the difference compared to like, you know, the different shoes. Like, it's got this little pattern here, which is very common on the Brooks, but it doesn't have the guard like the trail shoes. They're cushioned, but not too cushioned. Much better for just every day. You don't feel like you're wasting this shoe wearing it to your office or for every day walking around. So it doesn't have the glycerin built in. It does have the DNA whatever. So designed in Seattle, by the way. This is Brooks Shoes, an American company. So that's my secret to shoes, huh? I got abs. All Brooks shoes. Here we are at the Paradise Falls. I'm standing here directly in the middle of the parking lot. See, they segment the parking lot with this fence here on both sides. You come off of Avenida de los Arboles and you pull in right here. They got this large parking lot. There's the main entrance right there. There's Hannah. Looking good. They have one porta potty right there. It's a larger one for a wheelchair. So you can see that it's, you know, handicap accessible. There are some trails back that way. There's like a couple of looping trails that you can go down and do. They're pretty rugged and fun and interesting. We're really not going to check those out today, but if you come to Paradise Falls, you don't have to just go straight up that way, but I'd recommend you do. There's also an entrance on that side, and then if you just walk down the road, you'll see the entrance over there. So, where's the moon? Oh yeah, wow. I don't know if you can see. Straight ahead is the moon in the sky. It's like a big pizza pie. It's amore. Oh, look at this man. He's on a one wheel. He's going to one wheel this thing. Look at this. That's crazy. I don't know how much he's going to be able to do. It gets a little rugged out there. All right, let's pick this up when we get to the top of that hill. This is a beautiful scene right here. I don't know how well it's coming through, but just walking up this trail in the beginning to this up this hill and just seeing that moon right in front of you, it's such a striking visual. So we are filming with the Canon EOS R50 with the kit lens. It's a 18 to 45 millimeter. F-stop is 3.5, I think, to 4 point something. So just a kit lens. It's not going to be the greatest. Now, I believe the kit lens has image stabilization, which will hopefully give us some less shaky view. I don't yet have a grip for the camera, so I'm hand holding near my shoulder in my left hand, and so it's not going to be the greatest. So I need to pick up a selfie stick style. I do have a full tripod now. My sister just gave me a tripod recently, so I need to get that selfie stick for a full-size camera and look into different lenses as time goes by. Oh, look at that butterfly! I don't know if you could see it on film. Alright, since we're already here, let's go ahead and crest the hill and take a look at Paradise Falls Trail. Had a decently large breakfast. Okay, so here we are. You can see the trail runs straight ahead to the rock. I'm going to put the camera to my eye. If you see right there, dead center of our screen, that jutting protrusion, that's the rock up there. I think it's called Lizard Rock. You might hear me say, oh, top of the rock, or go to the top of the rock. That's what I'm talking about. So you see, it's almost a dead straight shot with a little bit of loop coming this way, then it loops back around and you're there. Now, when you get to the top of the rock, you can go back on the backside and go all around, and it's a really rugged trail back there. A lot of people don't actually do it. They just go to the rock, or they go to Paradise Falls and come back. So down this straight trail, there's a loop here that goes back to the parking lot, and then there's a second turn is where you can go down to Paradise Falls, which is, I think, where we're going to go today. So let's check it out. Oh, and then if we look behind us, ignore the shaky cam. That's where we came from. There's other hikers. I'm avoiding them. And that's where we came from. You got the city of Thousand Oaks and Hacienda de los Árboles. Okay, so from the entry of the trail, we have just got to the first junction. Now, if you go left, again, that'll just take you back to the parking lot, which is over there. And there's also like a secondary trail where you can go around, and it's just a big loop, so it's kind of nice. We're going to keep going straight this way to the main trail. So right off the main trail, there's this little indentation right here in the earth, and with all the heavy rain we had this year, this was full for a long time. This was basically a little pond, large puddle, and it was full of tadpoles, ducks, and other kinds of insects. And so Hannah this year decided to start being a frog mom, and first she was grabbing tadpoles and raising them. They were becoming frogs, and then we take them to our backyard in our house because we have a large backyard with a water feature. But then she got tired of doing the tadpoles, so she just straight grabbing frogs. She was grabbing both toads and tree frogs. But then she didn't like the toads as much, so she's just looking for tree frogs. And so recently she had gotten rid of all the frogs and took them to the house. But then she got bored and decided she wants to come out and look for tree frogs, you know? And so we can see this nice ridge here, this little, what is this? These aren't mountains, you know? These are hills, like large hills here. It's really beautiful. It's not usually this green. I mean, in the 5 or so years I came back to LA, I was on the East Coast for a while. This was usually just dead and brown, but the rain made it green. Now, it's too bad because it's mostly dead again. Like, this is nothing. It was so green and lush. In the last couple months, I mean, it was literally just covered in green. Not a spot of brown to be seen. I mean, it was just all green. It was amazing. But, you know, things are drying out again, and it's still comparatively looking fresh and green and beautiful, but it will be dry and brown again soon. You know, you can see all these plants, the trail, the plants next to the trail, they're all dead now and browning, but there usually isn't even plants there. It's usually just flat nothing. Like, they literally just grew over the last couple months. This amazing amount of growth and green, and there were ladybugs and bees, and it was just so vibrant. And now it's back to being, wasting away. So anyway, Hannah's looking for frogs. And if she finds frogs, we're not going to be able to do much walking because we don't want to keep the frogs too long in their container. So this will probably be a short walk today if she's really looking for frogs. I don't think we're going to be able to go at the top of the rock or the waterfall. So I guess I'll just show you the best places to find frogs at Paradise Falls today. It's so interesting, just the pattern here in the ground. You know, the remnants of the water that sat for a few months. And now the water's dried out, but the land was enriched with water and expanded. And so the soil, of course, was loosened and, uncompacted. And so now the water has evaporated. There still feels like moisture, though. When you're stepping around, you can still feel there's more moisture here than on the main trail. So it'll be interesting as the rest of this year progresses to see how much the land here compacts itself and if it becomes more flatter, if it stays all craggy like this. Hannah is basically finished with this first frog area, and she says we're going to at least go to the next area. So as you can see, the main trail is right there on the right. We just barely crested the hill and came down to this first little area right here. Here comes Hannah. Em, you coming? Shouldn't you put that in the bag so we can walk? So I was wrong about the lens. It's actually f4.5 to 6.5. Let me see here. Let me see. I can't even see the screen. It's RFS 18 to 45, f4.5 to 6.3, IS STM. So IS image stabilization, STM has the advanced stepper motor, really silent, good for video. But that f4.5 to 6.3 is pretty bad. It's worse than I thought. I thought we were getting at least a 3 something on the wide end, but that's not the case. Alright, I have noticed as well on this camera that it has a little temperature gauge. And it's already measuring 3 out of like 10 or maybe 9. I'm surprised that the camera will get that hot that quickly, so that's a real limitation of the camera. You know what? I mistook my amount of turns. So the first left, as we saw, will take you straight back to the parking. But then this is the second left, actually. This will, again, just take you back around. It'll also take you to Paradise Falls if you go down to the right. But as you can see the sign there, it says if you want Lizard Rock or Paradise Falls, keep going. So it's actually the third left that is the most direct and fastest route to get to Paradise Falls. Alright, as you come down the main trail, you'll see here the Santa Rosa Loop Trail / Box Canyon Loop, and they go off to that way. I never took them. I mean, I think they just sort of follow the main trail around and reconnect. I don't think they actually go anywhere special, but maybe one day. And then in here's another depression. There was a body of water here for the past few months, and there were lots of frogs, tadpoles, ducks, but you can see here it dried out and oh, it's not here? There maybe was a puddle here, but not like an actual pond. So I guess we got to keep going straight. Okay, as you come down the main trail, and not that far past the other little turn off to the Box Canyon Loop, you have this bad boy. So this puddle here, this little pond, was growing all kinds of green, I guess, algae. And you can see here that it has dried and left a nice thick cover over the indentation here in the land. So it was pretty moist even last week, but it's looking really, really dried out today. You gonna check for frogs here too? And then I'm looking, now that I have a better look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's got a 10 on the actual temperature gauge, and it's already at 5, you know, half overheated. I don't know. Is that like a normal thing for Canon? I mean, it wasn't normal for the older Canons. Is there some new kind of sensor built in that's a temperature gauge? Is this like a serious issue? Like, can I let it run to 5 or 8, or what's normal range for this? Because I'm only filming like 10 minutes of footage so far at 1080/30, which is not that stress. It's like 80 odd degrees, but there's a nice breeze, so I'm really surprised this camera is half of its heat gauge already full. There was literally nothing in there, Hannah says, so. How many frogs you catch?
4.
4? All tree frogs? Green?
3 green, 1 yellow.
Oh, 3 green, 1 yellow. So we're just gonna head back down the main trail. This is like maybe half a mile to the car, and put these frogs either in the cages we have at our apartment or containers. You know, we have containers with some plants and some water, something decent, and then maybe we'll take them to the main house backyard later. So that might be it for today. So as you come up the main trail, you can get a better look now. We're at the 3rd turnoff. Lizard Rock is straight in the distance. And if you don't want to go and you just want to go straight to Paradise Falls, you can make a left to the teepee and Paradise Falls. So you head down that trail. The teepee is approximately over that little ridge there. And there's also a nice little walking trail on top of this little hill right here. It goes to the end towards the Lizard Rock. It's really cool.